Update for the Spiritual Hierarchy and the Galactic Federation, May 21, 2014. Channeler, Sheldan Nidle, at paoweb.com. Selamat Jarin. We come before you with much good news. The Dark Cabal's last efforts were unsuccessful. Events are now taking place that are to be the beginnings of a new reality for surface humanity. The Dark realizes there are forces at work which cannot be defeated. Individuals and groups came together at the end of this last decade and decided to form an alliance to push the Dark and its heinous agendas into the proverbial dustbin of history. This process took just over half a decade to accomplish. What is occurring now is the manifesting of a number of policies that are to dramatically change how this reality operates. Included in this packet are a global jubilee and the resetting of the globe's financial and governmental systems. These new policies are to encourage abundance, prevent widespread corruption and permit each individual to regain their personal sovereignty. The new governance is to allow you to interact freely with it and truly become its natural benefactor. Finally, there is the matter of disclosure. This one action is to end nearly 13 millennia of lies, deceit and gross manipulation. What we now describe as a natural process, which often accompanies a rapid rise in one's consciousness. As one increases in consciousness, a sacred morality begins to form within the individual and especially within the higher conscious-bearing society. This frequently leads groups in that society to seek means to improve the condition of morality operating in its higher echelons. This phenomenon is occurring throughout your various global societies, whether they are sacred secret society members or participants in the true ancient ruling families of your globe. These individuals come together and formulate the strategy required to oust the dark power brokers of this reality. We have encouraged this natural process and given the wisdom for its success. As these groups come together and ease the dark ones from power, your societies grow in morality and prepare to give a general prosperity and freedom to all humanity. This rise of morality eventually forges new governance that recognizes the need to acknowledge our existence. Such governance welcomes our assistance and understands that a general responsibility is in play to permit humanity to become fully conscious. This is where our expertise can be expressed to you. Thus begins an immense exchange of data and wisdom. It is then that war becomes obsolete and the supreme need for divine service becomes apparent to all. This new degree of mutual cooperation becomes the bellwether for a new human epoch. You get to learn from your ancestors and discover your true origins. The past's nearly 13 millennia become a history that teaches you about the dark and the dilemmas of limited consciousness. It is this wisdom that is to serve you well when you deal with the former members of the Anshara Alliance. In addition, you are to learn much as you remember how this present solar system was dismembered by various campaigns fought over the previous 2 million years. All of this is merely the beginning of a process that is leading you toward a great transformation. This process is to return you to your former selves. You are, after all, the progeny of those who openly defied the ancient dark rulers of Atlantis, and were punished by being dropped into your present state of consciousness. In the spirit of this long-ago rebellion, you are being remade by heaven into a fully conscious being. It is this being that is to produce a new star nation and permit a permanent galactic peace to manifest. You are also to become the hosts for conferences that are to include the representatives of literally thousands of nearby galaxies. In this mode, you are to unfold the divine plan for this sector of physicality. Hence, your future is bright, and now you are to experience a grand set of disclosures that are to tear away beliefs given you by your former overlords, the Anunnaki. These former sky gods are to be revealed, and with this a new era of truth, freedom and prosperity realized. Blessings, we are your ascended masters. We come before you with a blessing. Be ever thankful for heaven's mercy and sublime grace. Be ever ready to serve the divine and be in profound joy for what is transpiring across this blessed orb. Heaven instructed us to come to you and ask for your prayers and supplications for the rising of a new world. It is one that brings with it freedom and the granting of spiritual sovereignty to all. Every aspect of this reality's physical appearance is to transform. This great set of alterations is part of a grander plan for the manifesting of a new epoch for humanity and for the unifying of Gaia's two realms. We come as harbingers of this new epoch and say enjoy that the dark who relish their power and wealth are to see this taken from them. The blessed and the humbled majority of this precious orb are to have their day. This day is to come and bring you messengers such as us to guide you. Hosanna, Hosanna. These events are underway. Those who began this most precious journey are ready to manifest a whole series of blessed happenings. Each of these is to bring us closer to the day when we can formally appear before you. The lessons that we are to give are to permit each of you to realize what the dark espoused for millennia. These half-lies need to be seen in their true light and compared with what was said to humanity many thousands of years ago. The core of every religion is fundamentally the same. It is about love and light. It is about our grand spiritual union with all life. These points need to be reviewed and the true purpose behind them clearly revealed. Then and only then can one start to understand what our blessed brethren meant. In this, you can glean what you are about spiritually and see the true wonder in the Almighty's infinite creation. The beauty of the current situation is that the dark is befuddled by what the light is doing. When you appear omnipotent for so long, the ongoing events of the day seem insignificant. Nonetheless, they are not. All the deaths, lies and never-ending posturing are in reality to no avail. The light has won because heaven's desires are now to manifest. The dark is slowly learning that its former way of doing things is no longer appropriate. Enough people presently recognize the writing on the wall, and simply do not believe in what is said or done. The emperor is losing not only his clothes, but also his power. A new way is a-borning. This way is to bring in truth, freedom and personal sovereignty for all. This way is to reunite us with all humanity and permit us to bask in the wonders contained within. Today, we went over what is happening across the globe. A new era is being birthed. It is one filled with joy and the realization that your amazing talents can at last be fully known to you and to all. It is time to watch this manifest and see just how magnificent all of this can be. Know, dear ones, that the countless supply and never-ending prosperity of heaven are indeed yours, so be it. Selamat Jarin, Selamat Jar, Syrian for be one, and be enjoy.